I said so in the open many years ago during the convention of 𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐼. I said, lock Adeboye, lock 𝐗𝐚𝐤𝐿𝐼, lock 𝗘𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐼, lock all this, lock me up also. You know, I was talking to another colleague of mine a few years back. I said, don't attempt to drown those who taught you how to swim. You will sink. Pastor Adeboye signed my wedding certificate as my father on my wedding day. The first house I ever built in my life was built on that campground. The first house I ever built. I was a favored son. And it's only bastards that use left hand to point at the house of their fathers. Before I came to Redeemed Christian Church of God, I was with Deeper Life for another 5 years. I acted in legal capacity and did some registration and did things for them. And only those who want to die before their time will be attacking and trying to destroy those who contributed to their quota. We do not bite the finger that has fed us. And I don't call those men my colleagues. They are fathers.
Hola! 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 Welcome back again. So last time we looked at Tunde Bakare with regards to his relationship with Oyedepo, as he talked about other pastors too as well in his interview with TVC. Please, when I make content right here, the idea is that it's a trend. I analyze trends. So the idea is that you already know what I'm talking about. So if you don't know, please read my pinned comment. Sometimes I put the links to the main video. So if you don't want to listen to me, just go to the main video and watch it, okay? But right here on my channel, I talk because I analyze the trends and try to make sense out of it. That is called content creation, okay? In case you don't understand. All right, so let's get straight to the point. 8 years ago, Tunde Bakare made some comments about GEOs, of which he said specifically that he would even want all GEOs, not excluding himself, to be locked up in the police station. In fact, he said that the hottest part of hell is meant for GEOs like him. He even went to the point of saying that revolution that we talk about here, revolution there, should start in the church. Before we continue, I want you guys to watch this video yourself because some of you may not have even known, and I'll be back with some comments.
The hottest part of hell is reserved for preachers who take advantage of the people of God. In 1 Kings chapter number 4, please man, because this is the root of our problem. All general overseers must go to prison. I am not joking. I said so in the open many years ago during the convention of 𝐻𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐼. I said, lock Adeboye up, lock Umi up, lock 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 up, lock all this, lock me up also. By the time we finish, Nigeria will change. I have a reason for saying so. In 1 Kings chapter 4, I know I'll be quoted tomorrow, I'm ready for their war. If the revolution does not begin in the church, it cannot spread. If it does not begin in the mosque, it cannot spread. I am telling you, except those institutions change, Nigeria will never change. They control the soul and minds of millions of people. Democracy is preceded by revolution and then development. And when people have their voice restored back to them, they can then determine who will represent them. We have put the cart before the horse. That revolution must begin. It must begin with you. It must begin with me. And listen, I salute the courage of leaders of 𝐷𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐿 and people who have risen to fight in this nation. I salute the heroes of our past leaders, and God knows the sacrifice. The reason we are clamoring to save before we change is because if it is not saved, there will be nothing to change. I began to hear something like, let's go our separate ways.
There is nothing that compares the North and South to be together. Nothing. If the nation will break, let it break. Marriage is not by force.
That's what I'm fighting. That we can still salvage our national unity and cohesion and still remain one country where we change values and different parameters than that which we have received hitherto. By the grace of God, Almighty God, who spoke. You know, even Solomon himself said, all that I've amassed, who knows who will inherit it from me if he will not be a fool? And Rehoboam became a fool. It was on the third generation that the revolution hit. And they said, to your tent, O Israel. But there's still Israel today. That's why Nigeria will be saved. Nigeria will be changed. And Nigeria will become great in our lifetime.
Welcome back again. I hope you heard that yourself, in case some of you don't know about that. Credits to Sahara Reporters for having, like I always tell you guys, the internet never forgets, and the things I work with or the contents I get to analyze most times are the contents that are being put out there on the media. All right, so I just pick them and get to talk about them, more of like sharing my opinions. Instead of sharing my opinions in the comments, I put a camera before my face and say what I have to say. But looking at this critically, I wanted to ask you a question, because I've been talking about the 3 Ps when I talk about pastors, politicians, and the police, and it's now making a whole lot of sense. Because you see, I keep telling people, like we look at FFK and a couple of other people, when you can have one person acting the capacity of a politician and also a pastor, to a great extent, I see some word more of like a chameleon, if I'm permitted to say that, because it's more of like they can always shape-shift. Okay, today I'm not a politician, today I'm acting like a pastor, I'm acting like someone that's very, very spiritual or something. Because I've looked at his person over time, looking at his videos from way back, and looking at how he has had a paradigm shift in the way he talks about other pastors like him, which I think is really amazing. That was why I started with the good part of him with regards to his recent interview with TVC, where he was talking about the fact that you cannot drown a person who taught you how to swim, because if you do so, you are going to die or something like that. But if you look at the same person that was mentioning the name of Adeboye, mentioning the name of Oyedepo and a couple of others, that they should be locked up, you can now see that there has been a change in his person, which is something I encourage myself also right here on the platform. We have shared videos of pastors who came out publicly to insult maybe some well-meaning Nigerians, and they still come back again on the same pulpit to apologize for the things they said, because we know that the social media itself, the internet never forgets. So looking at the person of Tunde Bakare over time right now, looking at this particular subject of revolution now, Nigeria indeed needs revolution, I would say. I'm not missing words with that, because the way we are seeing, like the monies that our president is borrowing as at this moment, and I was looking at some news right now, and I'm like, the things I see happening when it comes to the government, just sometimes when I make videos like that, you guys are not interested, because I want to make videos people want to watch, not just make videos and just 2 people say it. All right, because I know that when I talk about things that are religious, a lot of people troop in. Why? Because that is what they're really interested in. That's what Nigerians are really interested in. But if you can break off our mind from this whole religious mindset and begin to see things with sense, I think to a good extent we are going to create a movement of fixing things, not just from social media, but fixing things from even our church, the way we think. Because, like, according to him, if you heard him quite right, he said that pastors, GOs, control the soul and minds of millions of people. And as we are drawing near to election now, 2023 election, watch closely those your pastors pay allegiance to, those they talk more about, those that these quote-unquote aspiring presidents or whatever would be going to their church to receive blessings. Because they know, politicians themselves know that because this pastor might be controlling a whole of audience or people, their minds and their souls, when once they see this particular whoever politician coming to receive blessings from him, it's more of like an endorsement. But you may not be seeing it that way, but behind the mind, that is what happens. Of course, if not, we should have pastors blessing, let's say 2 people are running for president, let's say 𝐁𝐚𝐿 is running for president, or let's say 𝐷𝐼𝐿 is running for president, or whoever, blessing 2 or 3 or 4 pastors, 4 politicians at the same time. That would be amazing, right? Because in that case, it's not as if you are taking sides. But if you can only bless one politician who is going for a position, it's more of like an endorsement, in case you don't know. Just like how a pastor will invite another pastor to come to his church to have a program or something. It's more of like, okay, I'm endorsing this person to be more of like a great preacher, a great pastor or something. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So all in all, I'm just saying the fact that the essence of this video is saying or talking about the fact that if you are to have any change in Nigeria, the people that are going to vote, most of them are still going to be people that are in church, Christians. But in the end, we don't really pay attention to the things that are happening in the political sphere because maybe that's not all we care about. We care about God, Jesus. Of which God will not come down and fix things for us that we are supposed to fix ourselves. Which I believe in the fact that Nigeria itself should be restructured, if I have to speak from my own opinion. But how can it be restructured if we don't have the right people in place to make sure these things come to pass? You understand? But all the same, I'm glad for the man that Tunde Bakare has become over time. I don't know if something would happen tomorrow and he starts talking like he was talking before about people that he terms as fathers to him or in the faith or something. But the way he has been now, like we looked at in the other video before this one, I think is really a good one. And the way he gave that interview really well, and as he spoke about things like this, and I think that is what we ourselves should be building on and hoping for a better tomorrow in Nigeria as well. All right, so that is it for today. In case you don't know who you're watching, this is Being Real George right here. I analyze trends, and I love doing that a whole lot, and I hope to see you guys next time in my video right here on the Being Real George channel.
Hola! 𝐘𝐚𝐭 𝐘𝐚𝐿 𝐘𝐚𝐿